Shopping is hard.
I can never find anything in my size.
I don't even know my size.
I buy my clothes the same place I buy my groceries.
There's a better way. Make it easy with Stitch Fix. Just share your size, style, budget, and done. Your personal stylist sends pieces picked just for you.
That was easy.
Stitch Fix. Online personal styling for everyone. Free shipping and returns. No subscription required. Get started today at stitchfix.com.
Getting ready to step into your career era? Set yourself apart with Adobe Creative Cloud Pro for students. Hone your skills with apps like Photoshop, Illustrator, Premiere Pro, and more, powered with the latest in creative AI. Students save over 55% so you can build a portfolio you're proud of. Launch your future with Adobe Creative Cloud Pro for students. Visit adobe.com/students to learn more.
Your burger is served, and this is our finest Pepsi Zero Sugar. Its sweet profile perfectly balances the savory notes of your burger.
That is one perfect combination. Burgers deserve Pepsi.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Fiscally responsible, financial geniuses, monetary magicians. These are things people say about drivers who switch their car insurance to Progressive and save hundreds. Visit Progressive.com to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary, not available in all states or situations.
Dealing with hidradenitis suppurativa, HS, is tough. But you're not alone. Before I started Cosentyx, I looked at the website and saw it had many years of clinical research. That made me feel confident.
Cosentyx secukinumab is prescribed for adults with moderate to severe hidradenitis suppurativa, HS. Don't use if allergic to Cosentyx. Get checked for TB before starting. Increased risk of infections and lowered ability to fight them may occur, like TB or other serious bacterial, fungal, or viral infections. Some were fatal. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms like fevers, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, had a vaccine or plan to, or if IBD symptoms develop or worsen. Serious allergic reactions and severe eczema-like skin reactions may occur. Learn more at 1-844-COSENTYX or Cosentyx.com.
Don't wait. Ask your dermatologist about Cosentyx.
Close your eyes, exhale, feel your body relax, and let go of whatever you're carrying today.
Well, I'm letting go of the worry that I wouldn't get my new contacts in time for this class. I got them delivered free from 1-800-CONTACTS. Oh my gosh, they're so fast.
And breathe.
Oh, sorry. I almost couldn't breathe when I saw the discount they gave me on my first order. Oh, sorry. Namaste.
Visit 1-800-CONTACTS.com today to save on your first order.
1-800-CONTACTS.
If you went on a road trip and you didn't stop for a Big Mac or drop a crispy fry between the car seats or use your McDonald's bag as a placemat, then that wasn't a road trip. It was just a really long drive. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
At participating McDonald's.
Hey, business owners, we know you know the importance of maximizing every dollar. With the Delta SkyMiles Reserve Business American Express card, you can make your expenses work just as hard as you. From afternoon coffee runs to stocking office supplies and even team dinners, you can earn miles on all your business expenses. Plus, you can earn 110,000 bonus miles for a limited time through July 16th. The Delta SkyMiles Reserve Business Card. If you travel, you know. Minimum spending requirements and terms apply. Offer ends 7/16/25.
When ego creeps in, how leaders can address egos that hinder productivity. Abstract. This article examines how unchecked egos can undermine organizational effectiveness despite well-intentioned leadership. Drawing from research on ego threats, moments when one's self-image feels challenged, the author explains how these psychological events trigger defensive behaviors that impair judgment and collaboration. The piece identifies common sources of workplace ego inflation, including inadequate feedback cultures, narcissistic tendencies, insecurity, competitive environments, and leadership vacuums.
This episode is brought to you by State Farm. Knowing you could be saving money for the things you really want, like that dream house or ride, is a great feeling. That's why the State Farm Personal Price Plan can help you save when you choose to bundle home and auto. Bundling, just another way to save with the Personal Price Plan. Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Unlimited Premium Wireless. How to get 30, 30, bit to get 30, bit to get 20, 20, 20, bit to get 20, 20, bit to get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month? Sold! Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
This episode is brought to you by Greenlight. Get this. Adults with financial literacy skills have 82% more wealth than those who don't. From swimming lessons to piano classes, us parents invest in so many things to enrich our kids' lives. But are we investing in their future financial success? With Greenlight, you can teach your kids financial literacy skills like earning, saving, and investing. And this investment costs less than that after-school treat. Start prioritizing their financial education and future today with a risk-free trial at greenlight.com/Spotify. Greenlight.com/Spotify.
Does it ever feel like you're a marketing professional just speaking into the void? Well, with LinkedIn ads, you can know you're reaching the right decision makers. You can even target buyers by job title, industry, company, seniority, skills. Wait, did I say job title yet? Get started today and see how you can avoid the void and reach the right buyers with LinkedIn ads. We'll even give you a $100 credit on your next campaign. Get started at linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply.
This episode is brought to you by Polestar. There's only one true way to experience the all-electric luxury SUV Polestar 3, and that's to take a test drive. It can go from 0 to 60 in as little as 4.8 seconds with the dynamic handling of a sports car. But to truly understand how it commands the road, you need to be behind the wheel. Up to 350 miles of range, the 3D surround sound system by Bowers & Wilkins. It's all something you have to experience to believe. So book your test drive for Polestar 3 today at polestar.com.
Through case studies and evidence-based approaches. The article presents practical strategies for mitigating ego-driven behaviors, including establishing compassionate feedback norms, celebrating collaborative achievements, normalizing learning from mistakes, modeling humble leadership, implementing structured feedback systems, and fostering purpose-driven work. The article demonstrates how addressing ego threats can transform organizational culture, replacing defensive posturing with psychological safety and cooperative innovation that drives superior results. As a seasoned management consultant and researcher, I have witnessed how egos can silently sabotage even the most well-intentioned teams and derail progress. While a healthy sense of self-confidence is important for leadership, unchecked egos often arise from insecurity and get in the way of cooperation, innovation, and results. Today we will explore what the research says about ego threats in organizations, why they emerge, and practical strategies leaders can use to check ego at the door. What is an ego threat and why does it matter? An ego threat occurs when a person feels their image, reputation, or sense of self is challenged or diminished in some way. Baumeister et al. 1996. For leaders and high achievers especially, ego threats activate innate psychological defenses meant to protect the fragile ego. This causes behaviors that are ultimately self-defeating, like defensiveness, blaming others, and stonewalling. Unfortunately, organizational life is full of subtle ego threats that stem from things like feedback, criticism, collaborative tasks where credit is shared, and new ideas that disrupt the status quo. While people may not consciously recognize these threats, the ego's reactions are very real and impair judgment, cooperation, and learning. They breed toxic cultures where people are focused on advancing their own agendas rather than organizational goals. Research indicates these threats trigger threat rigidity response in the brain where rigid, defensive thinking narrows our perspectives. Store et al. 1981. Creativity, flexibility, and seeing other viewpoints get sidelined. Performance predictably suffers as a result. For leaders especially, unchecked egos threaten their ability to unite people, make sound decisions, and adapt to change. Where do organizational egos come from? There are a few common sources for inflated egos in the workplace: lack of feedback culture, Many organizations fail to establish psychologically safe feedback norms where people can have candid discussions to learn and improve without defensiveness. Without proper self-awareness calibration, egos run rampant. Overinflated self-image. Some individuals genuinely lack insight into how their behavior impacts others due to narcissistic tendencies or an arrogant leadership style. Rosenthal and Petinsky. 2006. Feedback falls on deaf ears as they believe they do no wrong. Fragile self-esteem. For others, an inflated ego compensates for deep-seated insecurities. Criticism or admitting flaws threatens their shaky sense of self-worth. The ego fiercely defends an ideal self-image rather than facing reality. Baumeister et al. 1996. Competition for recognition and resources, when advancement depends heavily on one-upping peers. People are incentivized to promote themselves and guard turf rather than collaborating for shared success. Office politics breed unhealthy egoism. Lack of purposeful leadership, poorly defined missions. Values and expectations create a vacuum where egos are free to run rampant without clear goals or guardrails to keep self-interest in check. Strong, purposeful leadership is the antidote. By understanding the psychology behind why egos tend to inflate, leaders can begin dismantling conditions that feed them and establish a healthier culture. Practical strategies for managing organizational egos as a consultant. Here are some tested strategies I've seen work to mitigate ego threats and reinforce humbler, team-oriented mindsets. Establish candid yet compassionate feedback norms. Explicitly discuss the importance of constructive criticism and make it psychologically safe to give and receive feedback without defensiveness through compassionate communication training. Frame it as a gift rather than a personal judgment. Celebrate collaboration over individual performance, through rituals like sharing success stories where multiple stakeholders contributed. Reward interdependence rather than solo acts. This shifts ego investment away from proving oneself towards the team's joint achievements. Foster learning through mistakes. Promote a growth mindset where failures and missteps are seen as opportunities to gain wisdom, rather than threats. When people feel psychologically safe trying new things, ego is less on the line. Role model humble, servant leadership. Leaders must exemplify putting the organization's interests above self through actions like engaging critics, crediting others generously, and admitting errors. This gives license for others to check their egos at the door. Provide structured feedback. Anonymous 360 reviews and multi-rater assessments offer unvarnished perspectives and pinpoint blind spots to provoke insightful reflection rather than defensive reactions. Data neutralizes ego threats. Foster purpose over praise. Link goals, efforts, and rewards to meaningful impacts, not individual accolades which inflate egos. A shared higher purpose subordinates self-interest for the collective good. An industry case study. Ego derails pharma innovation. Let me briefly share how unchecked ego sabotaged productive collaboration at a large pharmaceutical company where I once consulted. Silos between R&D divisions were stifling innovation due to unchecked egoism and territorialism over projects and credit. Leadership kick-started progress by demonstrating authentic appreciation for diverse ideas, not personal status or turf. They restructured incentives to reward cooperative ventures that drew on multiple skill sets over solo, hotshot achievements. Project teams then used anonymous idea suggestion boxes, allowing diverse perspectives to surface safely without defensiveness. Crucially, leadership modeled checking their own egos by openly soliciting and addressing critical feedback to cultivate trust. These evidence-based strategies dissolved ego-driven defensiveness and fostered cross-pollination. New blockbuster drug partnerships emerged from unlikely pairings. Silos shattered as people prioritized mutual understanding over one-upmanship. Where egos once reigned, collaboration and breakthroughs followed. Conclusion: leaders looking to maximize their organization's performance and creativity would be wise to address the subtle yet corrosive impacts of unchecked egos. By understanding ego threats, dismantling conditions that feed inflated egos, and role modeling humble leadership, work cultures can transform into psychologically safe environments where people cooperate selflessly for shared success over inflated self-image. Productivity and innovation thrive when egos take a backseat to purpose, teamwork, and growth. Leaders play a key role in keeping the workplace ego in check for optimal results.